Well, hello folks, welcome back to the channel. I am the Custard Prophet and this is Cartel Tycoon. We're going to have a first look at this game. It was released in 2022, so it's a couple of years old. Developers are Moon Moose and the producers TinyBuild, who have generated a whole bunch of interesting games. In terms of its what it's about, it is a survival business simulator inspired by the 80s and 90s narco trade. Expand and conquer, fight off rival thugs and evade the authorities, earn people's loyalty and strive to overcome the doomed fate of a power-hungry drugs lord. It's got mostly positive reviews on Steam, and I've had it in my library for a little while. I really wanted to get this out and share this with you. Potentially we could be doing a one of the scenarios as a full playthrough, but today we are going to play through the tutorial to give you a good idea of how this works. It's going to be a long one, folks, but hopefully you'll stick with it. I think it's a really fun premise, and the mechanics of the game I think are really nice, albeit not always intuitive. So let's dive in. Hopefully I've got the volumes all right. I've already recorded this once and it didn't quite work, but we're going to jump into a new game, into the story mode, and this is the tutorial version. You can see this is a relatively short one, 1 to 2 hours. I think it works out an hour and a half, but these other ones are much more lengthy, so that would be, you know, a good few episodes to get to the end of that. Okay, let's dive in. Artwork is really nice in this game. Really well done, I think. Nice way they've kind of got this together. So that's us, the person we're going to be playing, who is a bit of a joker and doesn't take himself too seriously.
The account is ready.
Are you sure it's a good idea?
I am sure of one thing. It will be a good lesson for all of us. Please, watch over him, hermano.
Right, there we go. And this is the map. So we're essentially, I think his cousin. Can't remember exactly. And we're a bit of a loose cannon. Don't take life too seriously. And yeah, he wants to get us involved in his illegitimate businesses. So yeah, early morning in the office of Capo Javier Gutierrez. A tall, well-dressed man flashes a smile as white as the marble counter on which he leans. The intended marker, young secretary, giggles while she picks up the phone and to deliver a simple message announcing the arrival of Mauricio Romero. Senor Gutierrez, your son is here. A heated exchange muffled behind two heavy doors quiets to near silence. Suddenly a man crashes through them. Romero meets him, arms wide.
Uncle, you look well.
The man eyes Romero from his slick-back head of hair to his crocodile skin loafers, and he barks.
So, Father won't be joining us?
Dios mío, Maurice. Would you listen to yourself? Talking like a fucking American.
Actually, Uncle, I go by Romero now.
Dear me.
You forget where you're from, sobrino.
So from out of his back pocket, he pulls a folded
Please jog
map.
your memory.
And that's what we get to see.
Okay, time to familiarize yourself with your surroundings. You can move the camera using the mouse or the WASD keys.
Classic.
You can also rotate the camera
WASD.
using the QE keys or the scroll wheel.
And you can see we can turn it around. And I think this is a really good tutorial, actually. It really kind of instructs you and then it tests you later on, which I think is really nice.
You see that marker there above the farm?
So we've got the farm
That's
here.
a hint. Hints can provide...
So So this is a hint. So this symbol indicates objects are important for current quest. Inside you'll find additional information about new mechanics and events. Money is the main resource. Your account status is displayed at the top of the screen. Legal money will be automatically used for construction and other operations. You can manually turn off all your buildings on and off. Turn on your first farm. It's time to do business. So let's get
situational information.
So
look out for them.
Here's our farm.
Now that hint is telling you to turn on that farm there.
There we go.
So, what are you waiting for?
So it's an opium farm, and this is going to be our first way that we're going to make money illegitimately.
So, father has acquired some new territory then.
See, your tata bought it out from some opportunistic pigs after they shipped out the gang that was in there. He's putting you in charge.
Me? What do I know about running a cartel? Why can't you do it?
You're free to ask him, but it's nothing I haven't already said to him myself. Seems he's had enough of you burning his plata, playing rooster at some American college.
I was studying poetry.
Want my opinion? I would tell him you were flirting.
So, where do I start?
Okay, you're going to do it?
Until I can find a way out, yes.
Slight smile forms on the edge of Salvador's lips. The two men climb into a car and the engine hums with life. So Maurizio...
We start by establishing a production chain.
He's going to
with
start...
farms, roads and warehouses. I've sent some money ahead to put up a farm on some land with good soil for opium. You can build out from there.
Okay, so we've got a little...
Now you've got the farm working on some goods. You need a place to store them. Open the build menu and select warehouse under the logistics tab.
Okay.
Then you've just got to choose where to build it. Personally, I'd build it in that highlighted area, but that's just me.
So, yep, we can put our warehouse down there and pop that down. That's production chain 1. So it's a big load of things that we're going to be doing in this.
You're gonna need more than one farm to fill up that
in this
warehouse.
tutorial.
So build 4 more.
Okay.
But make sure they're within the service range of the warehouse. You'd be surprised how easy these truck drivers get turned around.
Right, so this is the window of the warehouse, so all of our farms have got to be within that. So into materials, we've got farms. So you can see on the ground it indicates the fertility of the soil, so it'd be good to have a couple out here. Maybe one there. And I don't think we've got room to put another one in there, but those are 4 farms.
So, it's best to keep the roads simple. Look, I've highlighted an area for you to build roads connecting the warehouse, the city, and the nearby aerodrome. And don't forget to connect those farms to the warehouse.
Right, so now we're at road building. We're going to go with the gravel road. They want it to come from here. The aerodrome you can see just north. And we're going to put a road going through the centre of all of this, and then we'll have roads going off. In the future, we're actually going to extend that road south. We'll show you why in a little bit. So let's got that one there. There we go. You can see the trucks already starting to roll. And the opium on the trucks there from the farms. So we're doing good.
Now we just kick back and wait for those flowers to grow. What? Got something better to do than wait? Fine. You can alter the game speed using the panel at the top of the screen.
Okay, so we've got some bits and pieces on event that we've already kind of heard about. But yeah, we can speed things up. So we'll get our 10 units. We're not far away from that now. And then we'll go on to the next one, which I think is transporting them to the aerodrome.
You Useful information can also be found in the manual. To access the manual, click on the book in the upper left corner to open the manual.
Okay, there we go. So got all the information up here when he's not telling us what to do. It's pretty good. Our trucks are going mad. Right, a faded map carpets the hotel floor. A network of worn-out folds divide the regions into sections. I think that's what we're seeing now. In one of the sections, a small cluster of bullet casings represent the beginnings of a production chain.
Not bad, eh?
Yeah, you're a natural.
Oh yeah. Salvador stands over the desk, casting a shadow over the seated Romero.
Is something wrong, Uncle?
What? You think now you sit back and the money just rolls in? Who's going to deliver the opium to the aerodrome?
Well, I was hoping.
Dios mío. I'll make the deliveries for now. But if you're going to be a successful capo, Sobrino, you don't want your lieutenants wasting their time on opium deliveries. You need to get out of this office and into the city. Put that college brain of yours to work on improving logistics. Or pay some nerds for research which figure out a solution to our transportation issues. Either way, soon you'll have this place running like poetry in motion, eh?
Salvador wears a self-satisfied smile. Romero is less amused.
Looks like you got your first lieutenant, and a handsome one at that. You can give a lieutenant an order by clicking on their portrait and opening their lieutenant menu.
So
Try
here it is.
Order me to move to the warehouse you built.
So get him to move over here. Easily done. There we go. So that's easy. That's how we move
Now
our
that your
lieutenants
lieutenant
around.
is at the warehouse, open their menu and select the ability Deliver. Select the product, the amount you want to be delivered, and show them where to take it.
There we go. So it's that
Ruabalo,
easy.
Have me deliver opium to the aerodrome. This will be your selling point. Go ahead, turn it on.
Yep. So we're also going to turn the airport on there. And so we've got him moving things back and forth. But obviously that's not the best solution. Because he's more useful than that.
Open the research tree window and research the transport company.
You really get to see how much research options there are here. Just look at this. Look at this, folks. How far it goes. Just really exciting, that. So, but we're coming down here to research transport. And as you can see, it costs a bit of money and it takes a little bit of time to do, like most of these things. We've got about 8 hours to wait, and we've got this little icon here which fills up, and once it's completed, then we will have our researched item. Now we've got a bit more information on the research tree and the structure of the cartel. Plane going off, 26 units of opium. So we are going to now do some transporting.
Now that it's been researched, you can build us a transport company to take care of moving products from the warehouse. Make sure that the transport company is within range of the warehouse, and make sure that there are roads connecting it to the aerodrome.
So transport company, which we'll put in here, we will connect that up to connect it up to the aerodrome. And there we go. So we've now got stuff going into the transport company.
Now all that's left to do is tell the transport company where to deliver to. Open the transport company and set the aerodrome as an additional connection. Then watch the magic happen.
There we go. So we click on that and we can just identify what we want it to connect to, and then it will automatically start delivering stuff. So we don't need our uncle to be doing that. The transport company can do that, which is going to save him time. So we're going to deliver the opium to the airport. Managed to do that. Moving along quite sweetly, aren't we, folks? And you can see we're getting dirty money at the top there.
Ya está. The distribution of opium is now automated. Use the stop delivery order to cancel your lieutenant's current instructions and save his aging back from further trouble.
Okay, so that's already cancelled, and we're going to sell 10 units of opium to this via this mechanism. And you see, we already sold 6 of them, and so we'll just need another one of those, and we'll be done. So I'll see you when that's completed. Well, there we go. Load sold, making good money. 11 grand of dirty money now. Salvador and Romero stand and watch the cars coming and going, ferrying illicit goods back and
You
forth.
smell that?
The transport company reeks of fresh paint and petroleum.
That's progress, Sobrino. You're doing well.
See, Uncle. In fact, I'm even starting to have a little fun.
Don't get ahead of yourself. There's a long way to go yet.
I'd expect nothing less. So, what now, Lieutenant?
Our warehouses are beginning to fill with dirty money. Dealing in dirty money is a dangerous thing. La Policia can sniff that shit out as if they were truffle pigs. We need a money laundry to scrub that scent from it. Now, your tata just used to pay your college fees in cash and launder it that way. But since that's no longer an option,
Wait, he did what?
our next best bet would be something like a taxi company. We can build one in the city. And while we're at it, it's time we found a proper residence.
But isn't that a waste of money?
Not at all. A private residence is a good place to stash dirty money in much greater quantities than any other building. Plus, I love you, Sobrino, but one hotel room just isn't big enough for the 2 of us anymore. You can use dirty money to build too, you know. Open the city menu and start construction of the taxi company with dirty money.
So here we go, into the city menu, and we will build. I'm not quite sure how you know that you're building with dirty money, but I guess it's the one on the left. Maybe we haven't got the option to do it. So you can see it's been put in the back here.
But the transport company can't carry cash. It's a policy or something. You'll need to use a lieutenant to transport it to the taxi company. Oh, I wonder who's going to wind up with that job.
Right, we need to take the money, and this is something that's a little bit annoying, that you have to use these generals to move certain things around, like money, guns, those sort of things, to the different locations. So we'll deliver money. We want £8,000. There we go, and we're going to deliver it to the taxi company to pay for. Nope. We'll move it there. There we go. I accidentally moved the money into the city there. So I think we probably want to move that extra £8,000 which is being used in the city to the taxi company. There you go. Done that. Right.
Excelente. Now you can launder money.
So I'm gonna have to wait for another 8,000 to appear. So we're gonna move him here. So I'll see in a bit once that's happened. My little thing that I was doing is completely screwed up the mechanism here, but it shouldn't take us long. Right, there we go. We can actually do the second part of this. So we've already laundered easily enough money, but we'll deliver the 8,000 cash to the taxi company. So we've got a few other bits in here as well. A few inspection points there. So taxi company about getting that dirty money. So yeah, our uncle goes to deliver that. And yeah, we're doing all right, folks. Doing a bit of money laundering.
To automate the movement of money, you'll need to build a residence. I've marked another area on your map where you could build it. After that, you can stop any ongoing lieutenant deliveries of dirty money using the stop delivery command.
Okay, residence. Put that in there. Can turn it around a little bit. Looking pretty fine. We'll obviously need to get a road going from our network. And yeah, so we've got the residence. And that is just being built right now. So there we go. And that is going to be used to launder money as well. As a networking hub.
Ah, home is where the heart is, and now the cash too. But for this to work, you'll need to set the aerodrome and the taxi company as additional connections.
That's pretty easy. So everything's going to come via the residence. We've got a little bit more information here. In order for the residence to operate as a link between the aerodrome and the taxi company in the city, assign them as a destination through the residence menu. There you go. There we go. And then things should be coming via the residence for all of this stuff. Yeah, sorry. It was the taxi company I should have connected up. There we go. Done.
Now you can use the residence to transport dirty money from the aerodrome. Build roads through the highlighted area to connect the city, the residence, and the aerodrome.
We've already done that first bit. So we connected it earlier on, and we've got over $2,500 being delivered. There we go.
You know, you're very like your father.
I'm not getting ahead of myself, Uncle. What's next?
Let's see. Legal money is best left free for where it is needed most. Research, paying off los tambos, etc. So, where we can afford to, we should operate using dirty money. Building and paying upkeep with dirty money is certainly an underhanded way of doing business. It can speed things up by cutting out the time it takes to launder cash, but you need to move the money to where it's needed manually. It can be challenging for the most experienced capos like your tata, but I think you're ready to be a little more hands-on.
Gracias.
It's not me you need to worry about letting down, Sobrino.
Okay.
Here's a neat trick. Residences can deliver dirty money for the construction and upkeep of other buildings, so long as they're connected, of course.
Right.
Using dirty money, build a new warehouse within range of the residence. Then, build roads to connect the new warehouse with the road leading to the residence.
Okay, so let's do that. A new warehouse here. Logistics warehouse. And we'll connect that up with a road like that. Nice. I do like the speed that everything is being built at. It's so much better.
Keep on going. Keep on growing, Capo.
So that's
Using
storing
dirty money,
cash, that is.
Build new opium farms within range of both the residence and the warehouse, and build roads to connect the new farms with the road leading to the residence.
Okay, so I'm going to put some more opium farms. Very nice. And then we'll connect that up with a couple of roads. There we go. Almost all done.
You'll need another transport company for your new production chain.
Okay.
Build one new transport company within range of the residence and the warehouse. And make sure to build roads to connect the transport company with the road leading to the residence. Last time with the roads thing, I promise.
There we go. Transport company. We've got a right network of stuff going on here. So, yeah, warehouse, getting the money. You can see the money going in there to build it. And there we go. All connected. Quest complete.
With your dirty money production chain good to go, all that's left to do is set the aerodrome as an additional connection for the new transport company and watch the money roll in and out again.
So, spend 30 dirty money on the upkeep of all new buildings within the range of the resident. So I think this is an automatic thing. We've already got 10 out of the 30 there, so we'll let that roll over, and then I'll come back. Yeah, you can see here the upkeep cost for all these. It's $2 per day, so this is got a lot of these. So we will be upkeeping these quite quickly. There we go. Salvador and Romero once again collected around the faded map stretched out now over a wooden desk in the residence's main office. Romero reaches across and carefully places a few more bullet cases to represent the new production chain.
Building out quite the empire now, eh, Uncle? Uncle?
The office is silent for a moment, then Salvador slams a hand down on the wooden desk, knocking over the bullet cases.
Hey, what's the deal?
The lieutenant erupts in a deep-bellied laughter.
You call this an empire? Dios mío, even your tata would have got a kick out of that one.
What's that supposed to mean?
A few farms, a couple warehouses, and a taxi company do not an empire make, sobrino. So, your next lesson will be in expansion. And not a moment too soon. I've been bored as a monkey in a fucking bonsai tree down here.
No offense taken, Uncle.
First, we'll need to take out the gang occupying the capital city in the region we want to control. And for that, we'll need another pair of hands. At least.
So we're going to get another
you can
lieutenant.
hire a new lieutenant at the residence. Open the residence and hire Tony Quintero.
Tony Quintero here, the only one we can get. So we'll recruit him. These are his abilities. He's like super powerful. This guy is so big and menacing that his very presence is often enough to subdue opponents. His cold, piercing stare has been known to bring hardened criminals to their knees, trembling with fear. It's best to let someone else do the talking, though. So he's not much of a negotiator. So here we go. I've hired Tony Quintero, and then we've got a cooldown period until new recruits are available, and obviously more will be available, I guess, as we level up.
Meanwhile, your old friend has gained enough experience to rank up. Why don't you open his profile and promote him? What about a large raise, too? And a company car? Too much?
Let's open his profile, and we'll give him a promotion. So we've got to choose either a deliverer, so he delivers resources to specific buildings, or suppressive fire allows this lieutenant to use weapons for a special attack that reduces enemies' power. It requires at least 20 weapons. So there we go. So we've promoted him, and this is kind of where we are in the cartel. So we're right at the top as the whatever they're calling that. I can't remember the name is. He is at the Halcon level, and he's at the Novato level.
Got it.
So there you go, mate. Enjoy that promotion.
Tony, welcome, Parce.
Salvador embraces Tony Quintero, the new lieutenant in our cartel.
Wait, you know each other?
Of course, we share a barber.
Oh, nice. The young capo's face twists in confusion.
But...
Before he can finish his thought, Salvador places a firm hand on his shoulder and leads him over to the faded map laid out across the wooden desk.
Para me bola, sobrino. With Tony on board, we have all we need to grow our operation here. The first step, diplomacy.
Diplomacy.
Diplomacy?
Of course, diplomacy is the bedrock on which empires are built, and no form of diplomacy has created more empires than arms dealing. Why don't we see if our neighbors in Rogandes would be willing to sell us some weapons, eh? First, you'll need to get in a room with the gang's leader.
Now,
well, I'd rather you than I.
I'm not sure if I actually need to go there, or whether we can just talk here. So, ooh, who's this? Santa Rosa. So we can do an agreement here. So we're going to get 60 weapons and pay $10,000. We have no option here to negotiate at the minute, but I think that would be something that would be negotiatable in the future. So let's get a
well,
deal
would you
with
look
them.
at that? Not only did you manage to come back alive, but you struck a deal too. We'll send our new friend Tony to collect the weapons and deliver them to our residence.
He can burn buildings. So let's send him there instead. So what I will do, actually, folks, is I'm going to put another road in just to make this journey a little bit easier. Alright, there we go. We'll speed things up and he can go and collect his weapons. So he's got 60 weapons. He can only fit 20 in his car for some reason. It's a bit weird, but we'll see when he's got everything back at the ranch. We're just setting up the delivery. There we go. So he's gone there. We've picked up the weapons, doing business with their head honcho, which should be good. So it's going to take a little bit of time, and this bit is one of the areas I think they could have improved in the game. There's no reason that we can't deliver more than 20 weapons at a time. It just slows the progress down.
And now, it's time to fulfill our side of the deal. I don't think we want this particular transaction showing up in our bank statements, however. We'll deliver what we owe in dirty money to the city. Hey, I hear Tony just became available.
He did, so he can then go back. We need... what do we need? 10 grand. This, the other thing I don't like, this kind of little weird thing, because you can't get an exact value, which seems a very odd situation. So he can't do the whole thing at once because his car won't fit it in. I don't know why. So we'll speed things up and we'll let him get there. There we go, completed.
I see. Well, if those are our only choices, then I suppose we will have lead.
He thrusts the phone down on the hook, watched closely by his nephew, his nervous nephew.
What is it, Uncle?
It seems our end of the deal remains unfulfilled.
The bastards.
What? No! I gave them exactly what they agreed to. Those cerdos grandes.
I don't know what that means, but it sounds bad. Romeo strikes the table hard with a single fist. He recollects himself.
We cannot allow this transgression. What are our next steps?
A crooked smile breaks across Salvador's lips, his nephew's anger bringing him much amusement.
Hey, when diplomacy fails, war becomes inevitable. Luckily for us, the fools have sold us the instruments of their downfall.
Right.
Unluckily for us, we need to get these instruments to the battlefield. We'll ask Tony to deliver, but I warn you, this action will be a declaration of war.
Okay, so we are going to be going up against this cartel in whatever the city is over here. So Tony, let's deliver weapons aplenty. So we've got a new, so you can deliver 20 weapons. Let's proceed. So we would have 5 up against 12, which isn't enough. So we need, we might need reinforcements here. Here we go.
Tony is no pushover. But even he can't take on an entire gang by himself. Quickly, the capo must join the fight. As for myself, I'll see to it that the rest of those weapons make it to the battlefield.
Right, Capo is going in. That'll level things up. And then our uncle will bring the rest of the weapons. And hopefully that will allow us to take this. It's now, well, it's not level at all, as you can see. So we're way down in terms of our, compared to their strength, 7 to 12. That levels things up there. And we'll move him to the residence, and then we will get him to deliver the rest of the weapons, and hopefully that will change the direction of the war. There we go. Will give us a little bit of an advantage. He's also got the suppressive fire special order, which will give us some additional weapons there. There we go, 14 to 12, so now we have the advantage. But he carries on. Picking up those extra weapons. It's complete bedlam going on. I don't know whether you can see anything. Chaos there. So we've got a load of our folks in there.
Alright, that's the last of the weapons. Ay, Dios! We're pinned down. We need to lay down some suppressive fire, quickly!
There we go, we can use his... Spend 5 weapons to suppress 11 enemy power. So this is a way to kind of tip the war. And you can see there, now we're 18 to 1, so we've taken away a bunch of theirs, and now we're just going to wait them out here.
It's only a matter of time until we win this war. But remember, Hotshot, terror will continue to increase as conflict occurs. If you're not careful, you might catch the wrong kind of attention.
Right, so we've got to wait for that to happen. As you can see, we're slowly getting better. I don't know why we've lost the menu that was sort of sitting above it.
Come on.
But whilst they're doing that, one of the other things we need to do is upgrade our residence. So we'll do that. We've got the money to do it. 7 hours to upgrade, and we'll zoom on here and we'll watch that go down. So I'll come back when we have won this war. Oh, there we go.
The city is ours.
We won.
But I don't remember Tony having that many bullet holes in him before. He's no use to us like this. I mean, he must be in so much pain. Let's get him to the residence. He can recover there.
Right, let's evacuate him
Vamos.
by helicopter, and then we can heal him once there. It's going to take some time to heal, but yeah, he's been injured. I don't think we get much of an information on his injury, but once he's here, we can then pay some money to heal and use the local doctors. So we've taken control of this city, at least in terms of the cartel. We've pushed them out of it, and one of our lieutenants has got himself injured. So Salvador presses the black phone to his ear.
Si, Capo. You heard correctly. I'm just a steady hand. The boy is pulling his weight. I don't think we're quite there yet. He still has that fine head of hair, after all. It was the stress that took yours, no? Then again, I don't remember you ever having that much hair. Must be from his mother's side. Me? No, hermano. This is a choice. Oh, hold on. He's here.
Salvador places the phone down next to the receiver as Romero bursts into the office, visibly distressed.
Is everything okay, Maurice? You're sweating like a fox caught fucking in a forest fire.
It's the police, Uncle. They want to take one of our buildings.
Oh no.
Don't tell me you're sweating over Los Tambos. So what? They will put some tape around a building? Block some road? Get some money in the right hands, and we'll be cutting that tape off to applause, like we're opening a children's hospital. We took a fucking city, Sobrino, so the authorities are going to notice. In these situations, we make use of our new friend, the mayor.
The mayor would just help us like that?
We'll put up a new casino in the city, and when the public's loyalty is high, we'll ask the mayor for a favor.
Neat.
With enough loyalty, he can keep the authorities off our backs. Comprende, young capo?
Romero nods and leaves quickly. Salvador lifts the phone to his ear once again.
You hear all that? See, a little while to go yet, but he's getting there.
So he's getting some respect. So,
I hate to say I told you so.
here's the
Due
police.
to the current terror level, police have arrested one of your farms. Looks like the federales wanted
Oh, here
in
they
on
are.
the fun too. They've blocked the road with a cordon. Wait for the arrest time to end, or open cordon and bribe to remove it early.
So we can bribe here. 2 grand. There we go. Got rid of that. Now it's going to be a bit of a battle here. We're going to lose that, but then we can, as you can see, the police here. We're not going to try and go up against this. We'll just bribe them afterwards. So I'll let them take the farm, and then we'll come back and give them some money for it back. There we go. Now we can buy out for 5 grand. So we've got our stuff back. That's fine. Terror and Loyalty is the new quest set.
Unless you keep your loyalty up, you'll lose control of an unoccupied city over time. Move any lieutenant or capo inside the city to prevent the cartel from losing control of it.
Right, so we're going to head back so we don't lose control of the city. We'll zoom up there quickly. So again, that's why you need quite a few of these guys. They're going to be moving stuff about, but also you need them in the cities to ensure that people don't take advantage of you not being there. So yeah, we'll he's almost there.
If we're going to avoid that in the future, we should think about investing in our image. Open Chaparisha's building and build a casino in
So
the
here,
city.
the
We
various
can use
options
loyalty
here.
buildings
We've got
like
the taxi
casino
company in
to
there.
increase our loyalty.
So we've got these are the
Makes
options
sense,
you've got,
right?
but we are
Loyalty is the general public's opinion of your cartel,
Putting
and a
the
powerful
bills
tool
to
to
casino.
have in your arsenal.
and this will help loyalty go up. There you go.
Mayors can perform favors such as freezing an attention star to stop attacks. Ask the mayor of Chaparisha, or Abuelo Mágico himself, for a favor.
Okay, I don't know
And
what
with
an
the increase in
attention
the
star
size
is.
of your residence, you can set another connection for it.
So I'm
How
going to
about
ask him for a favour. Mayors can be powerful allies to your cartel. His Juan Sierra, as head of the municipality, striking a chord with the mayor can take control of a region, allowing you to build inside of it. As head of a region's authority, a mayor's favour can help you shield you from security forces who might have you in their sights. As the head of the region's treasury, a mayor's favour even helps you out of a tight spot by lending you legal money. Just make sure you can pay it back. If you have seen what you can do for the mayor, now let's see what the mayor can do with you. Mayor, I just need a favour. Not even a greeting. What? Did you sleep with me last night? I'm sorry, my friend, but time is money, no? See, Capo, I understand. What can I do for you? So we're going to freeze left star activity. If anyone knows what that means, please let me know. Please put a stop to these enforcer attacks. I'm not sure the business can take too much more. Of course, by putting the right sum in the right hands, I can turn an eye blind for a little while at least. It will cost you, of course, and not just financially. The people's distrust of politicians is already high. I can't imagine why. What I mean to say is that to be seen as party to this corruption will come at the cost of their loyalty. How do these terms agree with you? Let's get to work. This will not be the straw that breaks our back. And he's going to make those arrangements. So there we go. So loyalty's heading back down again. So we're going to set the casino as an additional point for the residents, so again we can recoup the money that comes out of that. There we go.
There are various ways to increase your loyalty, such as buying from villages or hosting special events in buildings like the casino. Go on, give it a try.
So here's the village down here. I'm going to buy some turnips from them. 20 turnips for $60. That feels quite a lot. And come down here and we will put in a charity tournament. There we go. So
the secret with Lost, they exist to protect the property of the rich, an interest of which the people sometimes coincide. They're less concerned with your pockets being full than they are their own being empty.
Well, now their pockets are full. Maybe now we can kick back and enjoy the quiet.
Salvador pours a smooth, clear spirit into a crystal glass and offers it to him. Maurizio thanks him with a nod and makes to take it from him, but at the last moment the lieutenant lifts it to his own mouth and finishes it quickly.
Hey, what gives?
This is no time to rest, Sobrino. We have the city in the palm of our hand. Now we must close the fist.
Let me guess. I'll be paying another visit to our friend the mayor.
See, but taking control of a region isn't as simple as asking politely. You don't get into public office without a nose for opportunity. The mayor will have drawn up a list of demands. Fulfill them, and the city and the region is ours.
Okay.
Everybody's got a price, Capo. Talk to the mayor of Rogandes, the sorrowful Sebastian Medina, to learn of the conditions needed to acquire a city.
So we're going to try and get hold of Rogandes as well, so we'll talk to the mayor here to try and do that. About time I was beginning to think you weren't coming. I must have missed the part of the invitation with my name on it. Oh, with the time on it. Right. But why let this spoil the start of a good thing, eh? I hear you're looking for a partner in this region. Partner almost makes it sound friendly. An associate, maybe. My family has a troubled history when it comes to partners shadowing men only at the end of a phone line. Perhaps you're just bad at picking your partners. I get it from mi madre. When her husband and her half-brother left us, the man who had only ever called by telephone became a man who only ever called in the evening. He took my mother's hand as well as her business, fucked them both over, and by the time I was old enough to realise what was happening, he had left us with nothing but debt. Today, gangs peck at the carcass of her business like vultures. It is quite the tragedy, senor. I don't want your sympathy, I want your bullets buried in the neck of those vultures. Okay, sounds like what we've got to do. So, we've got to do a few bits and pieces now.
Once you've fulfilled the mayor's 3 conditions, you'll be able to take control of Rogandes. No votes, no campaign, no babies to kiss.
Okay. So we're going to try and take control of Rogandes. So, we need to deliver dirty money to Rogandes to help Medina clear his debt. So it's 50 grand cash to Rogandes City is needed. So we will. So he's not. He's almost ready. So we will move him back up here, and we'll get him moving that money, folks. So we are getting there. 40 out of the 50 grand delivered. Our uncle is doing well. Tony is now back to being fit and well. Salvador is, he's delivering the penultimate 8 grand. So just another 2 grand left to deliver, and that will be the first of these 3 things that we need to complete. Right, oh no, we've got next thing to do. So, circling the vultures, recapture all of the buildings at the checkpoints controlled by gangs in the region. So, recapture all of the buildings in the Rogandes region. So, there's 4 buildings that need recapturing. So, they don't actually have a thing on them, so we're gonna send them anyway. Not quite sure why these aren't there, but you can see he's much stronger there, so we'll move him there, and he should be able to deal with that on his own. We could send Salvador in as well. He's not quite as strong, actually. I think he can probably deal with it himself. There you go. Not quite sure where all of our weapons have gone though. That's slightly concerning. But yeah, we'll let them do that. And then there's a couple of other buildings down here. So this is a checkpoint, and then we've got a farm and a warehouse down here, which are not quite as well defended. And you can see this shouldn't take long at all in Urigandes, and we can take control of these. So we'll take these buildings, and then we'll come back once we've achieved this one as well, and then the final one, I forget what that is, but we'll show you what we've got to do then. Okay, so we will now move him back to there. What is our final thing that we need to do? So we need to supply 100 units of opium to Regando City. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to go into our warehouses, and we're going to add Regando City as a location. That's going to hopefully allow us to send some of our opium into Regando. So again, it's just a waiting game. As you can see, we're already starting to have some of these big trucks coming. I don't know if we can click on the trucks. So 4 out of 12 potential there that can take her. Who is that? Okay. So, oh, we've already got 12 in there, so that's all good. So we're going to have to wait a little bit for that to happen. So I'll come back once we have supplied 100 units of opium, and then we'll see where we go from there. What you might notice here is, as we're doing all this nefarious activity, the terror is going up, so we need to think of a way to improve that. Right, there we go. All 100 are done. What we will do is just take the Urigandes off there.
Talk to the mayor again and take control of the capital and region.
Okay.
Make sure that at least one lieutenant remains in the city to prevent the cartel from losing control of it.
Okay, we'll chat to him. Did you ever try to look for him, the man on the end of the phone line? Once, but I didn't have much information at my disposal, just a name my mother used to for him, El Verenas. Have you ever heard of such a man? He has. Only for bedtime stories, I'm afraid. Medina's expression is one of disappointment, not of shock. It matters not. My mother's business is once again in her name. Perhaps now mi familia can finally begin to move from his shadow. And Christmas dinner for all the family at the Medina house then. I wouldn't go that far, but Urigandes does owe you a great debt, Capo. Do not hesitate to come to me with favours you might need. Congratulations, the region is yours. There we go. Picked it up. Urigandes is
How about
acquired.
some good for a change? Open Chaparricha's building menu and build a church in the city. Then, set the church as an additional connection for the residents. Okay, so it's not totally good. But come on, what do you expect?
So we're going to be laundering money in the church. That's fine. So we've only got... So I guess when you upgrade... Is that it?
No good deed goes unpunished, eh? Your actions have caused the increase in terror. Lucky for us, mayors can influence the terror level. How about we ask our old friend Sebastian Medina for a favor?
Okay, so yeah, terror levels have gone up. So we'll see what the mayor can do. So very similar sort of stuff. We've already seen this stuff, so we want him to ease the terror this time. All this attention is drawing unwanted attention. I see I have a solution, but you might not like it. The people will believe anything they read in the papers. We could weave a fable, a false rumour, perhaps something a little embarrassing, perhaps. It's worth the sacrifice. There we go. So we've improved that, and there we go. Bang, bang, bang. Maurizio hammers a nail through the corner of the map and into the office wall.
Building out quite the empire now, eh, capo?
Owed all of it to your guidance, uncle. No, Tio.
He steps back to admire his handiwork, and Salvador clasps a firm hand on his shoulder.
But our work is never done. You see, the more we sell a certain product, the more saturated the market becomes. Demand goes down. So do prices and our profits. What use is all of this control if it could be all taken away by something as unpredictable as the market? Diversification, sobrino. We must diversify our production chains.
Dios mío, I thought you went to college to study poetry. When did you have a chance to learn all this?
I went to college to study poetry, Tio. That doesn't mean I actually studied it. And when you're not studying, you find quite a lot of time for smoking. I mean, studying the economics of cannabis distribution.
I think it's time your father meets the man you have become.
Nice.
Business first, lugarteniente.
Sumer said, boss.
Excellent. So
Now that you're growing for two, it's time to upgrade those farms. Open the research tree window and research tier 2 of the farm.
So
Oh, and
research. Oh. Oh, there it is. Tier 2 of the farms. And that allows us to get tier 3 crop yield and some of these other things, what we can't do at the minute, but
just a side note. If that loyalty meter hits 0, the capo will die. To avoid this, I'd advise increasing the loyalty level by any means known to you. Just thought I'd mention it, you know.
So, for a couple of things they had said, one of the ways to get loyalty is we buy, I think, we'll buy stuff from there. I didn't actually mean to buy all of it, but there we go. That hasn't worked. The other thing we can do is we can put buildings up, can't we? So, we could put another building, so put a church up. And that is having and the priest will mention you in every sermon as a pious guardian of the church, so we can increase loyalty by doing this as well. So there we go. What do we need to get up to? Respect. Oh, there we go. Up to
I
respect.
picked out a nice spot for a new warehouse. Build one. Then build a few cannabis farms within the range of the new warehouse.
Okay, so we
Love it?
diversify now.
Who am I kidding? You're an expert at this now.
Build a warehouse. And then we're going to build a couple of cannabis farms. Oh. Yeah, so tier 2 avocado cannabis. There we go. We'll do them like that.
Not everything can be eaten straight from the bush, if you know what I mean. You'll need to open the research tree window and research the drying rack. When that's done, build a drying rack within the range of the new warehouse in Rogandes.
So I'm going to try and make this road fairly straightforward to give us a little bit more opportunity to maybe build something in here. So a drying rack is what we need. Open the research tree and get the drying rack, which is there. That's another 8 grand. And build 1 drying rack once that's sorted. Production, drying rack. Just gonna go there. Nice, perfect little
Next,
fit.
open the building menu and build a Tier 2 workshop within the range of the new warehouse in Rogandis. When it's built, set the workshop to package dried cannabis into vegetables.
Tier 2 workshop. There we go. Right. And set the workshop to package dried cannabis into opium dried cannabis. There we go. Into vegetable
Running low on
containers.
a product? No
There we go.
problem. You can always buy from villages. Buy some units of vegetables from the village for packaging dried cannabis
I've
inside.
done that already. I
You
bought
don't
bloody
need to tell
millions of
them
them.
that bit. Then, use a lieutenant's deliver ability to transport vegetables from the village to the workshop.
So I bought the vegetables, and we're going to move that to the village, and we'll move him to deliver. Workshop's there, is it? I think we're still on like super fast. There we go.
But why pay someone else to do a job you can do yourself, right? Build vegetable farms within the range of the warehouse in Rogandis. You should also build a transport company within the range of the new warehouse in Rogandis.
Right, so we're building a vegetables, also similar sort of style here, and a transport company down here as well. So let's put the transport company in first. Logistics, transport company, there, put there we go, and then 2 vegetable farms. There we go, 2 tier 2 vegetable farms after that. There we go, nice.
You're almost there, Capo. Set the workshop as an additional connection for the transport company. Then, set the smuggling point checkpoint as an additional connection for the transport company.
Workshop, and then the so over here. This is the checkpoint that we've just picked up. There we go, all done. So he's still bringing vegetables.
Now, using the workshop, package units of dried cannabis into vegetables. Just think of it like making a salad. A salad so good that it's literally criminal.
So we don't have any dried cannabis yet. Okay, there we go. So that's going to come into the workshop. There we go. Okay, there we go. So then we start to get some cannabis, and then we need that to move all the way to Now we need to just package it into vegetable crates initially. We've got 1 so far. There we go. So we just got to wait for that to get to 5. It's a really intricate game, isn't it? There's so much moving stuff about and what have you. Really like this. I think it's something a little bit different, isn't it? Well, not necessarily a bit different, but I think it's pretty well done. What are you going with that, mate? Right, so we'll let that happen. We've got 3 out of 5 done, and we'll be back shortly to get 5 out of 5. There we go.
This is it. Turn on that checkpoint to start selling through it. Selling
Right.
points like checkpoints and seaports need you to hide your produce inside legal products.
There we go.
Sell units of dried cannabis packaged in vegetables through the checkpoint. Then you might just be ready for Padre himself.
That is awesome. So we have. We've got dried cannabis there. We've got 42 cannabis here and there. Are they moving that anywhere? Yeah, here's our. Okay, so that's going there. So that's gone all the way through. And then there's a bit of a slow thing here. So you can see here, we're going to be selling. That's 17 grand worth of stuff here. There we go. Absolutely massive. So, another early morning in the office of Capo Javier Gutierrez, a tall, well-dressed man looking down his nose across a white marble counter. The young secretary on the end of the look hurriedly picks up the phone to deliver a simple message announcing the arrival of Mauricio Romero. Senor Gutierrez, your son. The young boss clears his throat. The receptionist shifts uncomfortably in her seat. Senor Romero is here. Shared laughter, muffled behind two heavy doors, quiets to near silence. Slowly the door opens and a man steps through them. A tall prize fighter of a man. He meets Romero with his arms wide.
Mijo,
Tata.
The two embrace for no more than a second before separating. Gutierrez wraps a heavy trunk-like arm over Romero's shoulder and leads him into the office. Stood at the side of Gutierrez's desk is Salvador, and he bows his head.
Salvador, your tío, tells me you go by Romero now.
Si, Tata. It sounded closer to Romero, see? The chicas love shit like that.
Gutierrez smirks. Salvador wears a look that says, I knew it.
Maybe I was wrong to doubt you, mijo. Salvador tells me you've come a long way. That under your command, we have established a foothold in not one, but 2 regions. He tells me that you have learned all there is he can teach you. So, I have decided to extend you an offer. Stay here and work for me as part of this cartel, and let Salvador look after the smaller business you built. What do you say?
There we go. Success, folks. There is the end of the tutorial. Let me know your thoughts on that. So we can continue to play, or we can go back to the main menu and do one of the other scenarios. But I think we'll continue playing for now. I mean, it is a fairly straightforward game in as much as it's kind of movement of resources around and ensuring that things are properly connected. And yeah, there are some issues with some of the small mechanics of the game, some of those kind of simple things about moving stuff around. That's a bit frustrating. You can only do it in small chunks. It's a bit annoying that you've got that kind of wheel menu to say how much you're going to move rather than just being able to say an exact number. But you know, with all of that said, it's pretty self-explanatory how much of this works, and it's kind of something a little bit different in terms of the actual concept. I love the sort of lieutenants. The research tree looks absolutely massive. I'm really excited about getting my fingers into that, because I mean that looks awesome, and there's so much more to learn as well in here. What's this character? So these are our different characters. So there's loads of additional information that we could explore in here. Now here's that research tree, which is just, I mean, we could kind of start playing around with this now. A lot of these things are now open to kind of explore if we wanted to do that. So there is a sandbox version of the game, but there's also story versions of the game, and it'd be really cool, I think, to maybe explore one of those stories on the channel at some point in the future. Love to get your thoughts on the game. I've certainly really enjoyed this playthrough. I thought the playthrough of the tutorial was actually, I mean, it started very much by holding your hand, and then slowly it sort of got you to do things more independently, which is one of the better ways to do things. Show you where things are, and then it'll test you to make sure that you've learned those things. I think that's brilliant. Anyway, folks, I hope you enjoyed this. If you did like this, please hit a like on this video. Please subscribe to the channel, and let me know if you would like to see a playthrough of one of the scenarios on the channel in the future. Probably not straight away, but maybe looking in 1 or 2 months' time, when we're sort of fitting in with other things. Anyway, folks, I hope that has been a lot of fun. It certainly was for me. If you did enjoy that, as I said, please like the video, please subscribe, and I'll see you in another first look video or a different video very, very soon. Goodbye.